And a good afternoon to you from Brunswick Community College. Today, the Region 10 champs are in town. It's 18th ranked Bryant and Stratton, the Bobcats at 3-0 and 1-0 in the region, taking on your Brunswick Dolphins, who are 1-1 and 0-1 in the region. And hi again, everybody. Chris Shima, glad to be with you. Before we talk about these two teams, let's see who's going to take the court for both of these coaches. First for Cornell Parker and 18th ranked Bryant and Stratton. It's right in order for me. Coach is making it easy. Number 1, Janijah Artis. Number 2 is Janiyah Pickett. Number 3 is Liv Bodenheimer. Number 4, Rakila Jones. And number 5 is Yvette Sandifer. And now for Joe Gaughan and your Dolphins, it's number 4, Chelsea Rivera. Number 5 is Princess Kennedy. Number 11 is Amaya Glenn. Number 13 is Shantae Douglas. And number 30 is Kaya Starling. So that's the starters for both of these teams. Bryant and Stratton has not played since Sunday. Ditto for Brunswick. On Sunday, the Bobcats beat Catonsville 93-49 to stay perfect on the year. Meanwhile, your Dolphins lost at Guilford Tech 53-44 last week. Dolphins outshot 51% to 27%, minus 12 on the glass as well. Brunswick is able to keep it close because of 18 steals in that game, and that'll loom large here today as well against the Region 10 champs. So Brunswick took 25 more shots in that game on Sunday. Chelsea Rivera had 16 points, 5 steals, 4 assists. Amaya Glenn had 10 points. And Shantae Douglas just missed a double-double with 10 and 8. The tip controlled by the Dolphins, who control the opener against a very, very good nationally ranked Bobcats team, is off to another fast start to the season. Glenn to Rivera, now over to Starling, and the ball down low, and the bucket is good for, I can't see the number with the ponytail. It is Douglas. So, good start for Shantae Douglas, who came in averaging 10.5 in the first 2 games, and now they get a steal here. So this is going to be very important because Brunswick and the Bobcats, 2 of the best teams in steals at the start of the season in Region 10. The Bobcats averaging 16.7, Dolphins at 15.5. So Dolphins have won. They're 1 for 2 on their possessions here in the opening minute. Good ball movement by the Bobcats, and down low, it's Pickett banking it off the glass. Pickett is a freshman brought in for Cornell Parker, who welcomes back 7 returners from last year's championship team. Nice job breaking the press. Now an open look. Rivera can't get it to go. Rebound controlled by Douglas. Starling. Douglas sets a screen now on a switch. Starling gets it over to Glenn. Shot clock is at 7. Great ball movement. Again, Rivera is open, and she buries it. Chelsea Rivera makes it 4-2. These two teams met twice last year, and the Bobcats won both meetings by a combined 101 points. Bodenheimer with the foot on the line, can't get the 3, Starling to go. But as we talked about in the season opener, this is a very different Brunswick team than a season ago. Ladies doing a nice job here today. To the bucket, Glenn had it blocked by Bodenheimer. So still 4-2, and that was off the head of a Dolphins player. So it's going to stay with the Bobcats as number 20, Haley Harris. Very good freshman at 13.7 points per ball game, comes in and buries it from 3. So Harris off the bench, 13.7 points per ball game, 41% from 3. She's actually 4 percentage points from 3 than she is overall shooting. So a very good deep threat comes off the bench, buries it. Bobcats get the turnover. Shot is blocked. They stay with it. Here we go again, and she's 2 for 2. So just like that, 8-4 on a 6-0 run, courtesy of the freshman Harris. Nice little ball fake there by Williams. Down low, the bucket on the runner, no good by Rivera, and then the throwaway intercepted again by Williams. Rivera from the left this time got another one. So Rivera ends that 6-0 run, and it's a 2-point game again at 8-6. First of a back-to-back for both teams. The Region 10 championship game rematch up in Cape Fear for the Bobcats tomorrow afternoon. Meanwhile, Brunswick will take on UNC Wilmington's club team, and that will be at 5 p.m. tomorrow. Extra chance opportunities, third crack at it here for the Bobcats, and Jones passed it off the head of a Dolphins player, and Harris is 3 for 3. Uh-oh. She's got 9 points in, what, less than 2 minutes for the Bobcats? Holy cow. What a freshman find for Cornell Parker. I mean, we talked about her three-point shooting. As the Bobcats shoot 39% from three as a team, I mentioned Harris at 41%. Averaging close to 14 points a game. She's got 9 already. Here is Glenn. Williams gets it back from Douglas. Rivera. Shot clock down to 4. The attacking play, bank shot is no good. And here comes Bryant and Stratton leading by 5. Sandifer, too strong off the glass. Another offensive rebound. So rebounding, looming large. Here we go again. Oh, she's human. So 3 out of 4 from 3 after that miss. Starling bounce passes it into the forecourt for Williams. And Williams traveled with the basketball. So you see this kind of hounding defense by the Bobcats. We saw this a season ago. Always active as Kaya Starling goes out of the game. And we'll tell you about who came in from her for her as soon as she comes into view.
Oh, well, don't go over there.
It is Destiny Mitchell. So Mitchell we didn't see at the start of the season with an injury, but she's going to be a key piece all season long. In fact, this is her first game. So first player off the bench for Joe Gahan. Harris turns it over with 5:10 left to go. Dolphins down by 5. So another nice job breaking the press. Here is Mitchell, high pass to Glenn, extra pass to Williams, can't get the jumper to go, and it's another one and done. Sandifer gets the rebound. This is a little bit of a smaller team this year. Last year, Bryant and Stratton had that, I can't remember her name. They all run together when you do as many games, but they had a very good rebounding post player a season ago. Not as tall this year. Bryant and Stratton, at least so far what we've seen out of the rotation for Coach Parker, but still a very good, as you can see, very good rebounding team. They've had a number of extra chance opportunities. As we go to our first timeout, 11-6, Bobcats with the early lead. Welcome back, everybody. Chris Shima, glad to be with you from the home studio in Ohio. You and I watching Region 10 action. Dolphins and Bobcats. Bryant and Stratton Bryant and Stratton leads 11-6. Dolphins trying to break the press here. And that full court trap. Starling is back in the game. She'll pull up at the free throw line off the back iron. No good. And Douglas had it for a moment, lost it. Dolphins get it back. Starling for three. Yes. And Brunswick needed that. Trying to keep pace with Harris, who's got 3 triples off the bench. Helped a 6-0 run for Bryant and Stratton after Brunswick had the early lead. Nice runner by Sandifer there to answer right back. So Bobcats lead by 4, 3:47 to go here in this opening quarter. So let's see. It's Williams and Glenn. Starling in the backcourt. Douglas still in there, as is Mitchell. And a nice pass by Mitchell, who got it down to Douglas for 2. Dolphins trailing by 2. Certain Bobcat fans might remember those 2 blowout games a season ago. This one should be more competitive. And there's some size off the bench. Shakira Reddix, the freshman, she averages, just a paltry 14 and 15 a game. Off the bench, by the way, I'd like to add, for Cornell Parker. So another one of those freshmen, as the Bobcats have retooled, looking for back-to-back Region 10 championships. And currently 18th in the latest NJCAA poll. Jones is fouled. That is the second team foul on Bryant and Stratton with 3:04 to go. Papa Bodenheimer has texted me to remind me it's LaTanya Berry, who was the big last year for Bryant and Stratton. She's at Coppin State now, by the way, so shout out to her. Playing that mid-major basketball now. Mitchell trying to get on the board, her first bucket as a Dolphin. And we are tied at 13. Really nice first quarter here for the Dolphins. Can't come out intimidated. You know, you see these rankings, and I don't know how much the players at 18 and 19 years old pay attention to the, they're probably not like me, okay, it's Tuesday afternoon, the new JUCO poll's coming out, let me quit what I'm doing, I don't know if the players do that kind of stuff or not, but you can't come out intimidated when you see, this is a good team, they're nationally ranked, this and that. And the Dolphins have come out very composed here in this opening quarter, withstanding that sharp shooting by Harris, who hit her first 3 triples, and now can retake the lead. Starling being hounded. Rivera, some nice dribbling, and then a little over-aggressive there by Reddix. 14 and 15 off the bench for Shakira Reddix. That's all. Just those numbers as Princess Kennedy comes into the game. Needless to say, this is, you can see right there, it's about 8-9 deep, but still one of the deepest teams in the region. Not in terms of size, but definitely production. A lot of really good freshmen brought in this year for Bryant and Stratton. As Mitchell hits back-to-back buckets, Dolphins take the lead again. So Mitchell with 5. Douglas is 4, Starling 3, Rivera with 4. I mentioned Harris. There she goes again. She's missed her last 2, but 9 points here in this opening quarter for Bryant and Stratton. Minute 57 left to go. Another extra chance opportunity. This has kind of been the nitpicky part for the Dolphins. They've got to get better on the defensive glass if they want to continue to hang around in this game. As you see right there, the tip up and in for Bryant and Stratton. Starling has it top of the key. Mitchell's got the last 2 baskets for Brunswick. Hands it off to Rivera. He's got 4 points here so far this afternoon. Shot clock is at 10. And it's going to be a steal for the Bobcats. Good foul. No continuation there. It's a good foul by the Dolphins, as that was shaping up to be a fast break bucket for Bryant and Stratton. And it's just one on Brunswick, so you can stay aggressive here on any turnover. Reddix gets it out. Harris not being shy. The tip up, no. I believe that was Walters who hit a putback moments ago. Missing that time, though. Handoff by Glenn to Rivera. Starling steps right, thought about it, has the mismatch with Reddick, so she goes to Mitchell. Mitchell's pass is intercepted by Harris. Chance to get into double figures in the quarter, and she does now with her first 2. That's 11 for Harris, 11 of the 17. Bryant and Stratton back on top. So 2 lead changes in the quarter. Glenn and I believe that's Sandifer on the far side getting in that passing lane to deflect it. Walters goes out with her 2 points. Starling inbound to Mitchell. 5 seconds to shoot, got to be aware. Glenn finds a space. What a tough bucket there. So Glenn's first field goal. Quickly go the Bobcats. No bucket, but Reddix goes to the free throw line. So Amaya Glenn, averaging 10 a game, gets her first 2. Glenn's averaging 4 steals. Chelsea Rivera, 4.5 steals for the Dolphins. Some good early numbers for those 2 ladies. Rakyla Jones, 4.7 steals a game. Not too shabby for the Bobcats either. And Reddix on the early season, 60% from the free throw line, gets her first one to go. So our third lead change of the quarter. Kennedy had it tipped away, got it back into the front court. She looks to push, and it's going to be called for the offensive foul. Pickett takes the charge. That's why Pickett's in the starting lineup. So Bodenheimer is in with 6.1. Parker getting some shooters on the court. Picked up at midcourt by Jones. With 2, with 1. I don't think they're going to get it off. They do. They're going to count that from Banks. So Bryant and Stratton takes a 3-point lead after 10 minutes of play. It's the Bobcats 21, Dolphins 18. We'll be back with the second quarter in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody. Chris Shima, glad to be back with you at the home studio in Ohio. Bryant and Stratton, 18th ranked. Dolphins putting up a fight, though. We've had 3 lead changes and I think a couple of ties. I don't know. I'm rocking 3 hours of sleep, so the stats that I'm doing today are going to be a little wonky, most likely. Rivera with the handoff to Starling. Destiny Mitchell, her first game at Brunswick with 5 points in the first quarter. Harris in double figures for Bryant and Stratton with 11. Those are the two leaders. Nice ball movement there as the bucket is good. I believe that's Walters again. It's a little tricky for me to see those jersey numbers on the new kids for Bryant and Stratton. I remember the players from a season ago pretty well, but pretty sure that was Walters. Nope, I'm wrong. It was Banks. Trust your instincts, ladies and gentlemen. Shot clock again winding down. It's at 5 right now. And the Dolphins are out near midcourt with it. They got to get it off. They don't recognize it, and it's a shot clock violation. That's a situation where you're a young team. You got to communicate. Somebody's got to be looking. Somebody's got to be paying attention if the coaches are screaming at you. But didn't happen there. So a turnover gives it back to the Bobcats, who lead by 5 now. Harris goes to the bench with her 11 points. Jones with the quick pass. Artist, Banks, Bodenheimer traveled with it. So it looks like the starters are back in. Mentioned Artist, Pickett, Bodenheimer, Jones, and Sandifer right now for Bryant and Stratton. Pickett, the lone freshman out of that group. Everybody else returners from a season ago. Good hands there by Bodenheimer. Douglas is back in. You see her down low. Starling, Rivera. Mitchell stays out there, and Glenn. That's the 5 for Coach Joe. Starling to inbound it with 21 to shoot. Just underway here in this second quarter. Brunswick hanging around down by 5. Remember, last 2 meetings last year were blowouts in a big way. Dolphins trying to keep this one tighter as Glenn with the turnover. Turnovers are going to be massive today for Brunswick. Start of a 3-game road trip for Bryant and Stratton, by the way. I mentioned the Region 10 championship game rematches tomorrow in Wilmington against Cape Fear. The runner and the bank shot goes for Sandifer, her second bucket. Biggest lead of the game now for the Bobcats, 7. That bounce pass is going to be taken away. Here we go again for Bryant and Stratton. And the layup is good. Timeout. Joe Gahan and the Dolphins got to talk about it right now before this one gets too far out of hand. 9-point game. And we'll take a quick break here. Back, everybody. 7:52 left to go until halftime. Bobcats now by 9. No changes out of that timeout for the Dolphins. Nice run to start the second quarter for Bryant and Stratton as Starling has it top of the key. Here's Rivera on the right side. Douglas is posting up on Bodenheimer. They're playing on the wing right now. Shot clock at 1. Mitchell has to hoist. It's an air ball. That's got to be a rule change there. I mean, if you play great defense and you get a shot clock violation, but you have the basketball when the clock hits 0, let's use that soccer thing where we're playing the advantage. Now you make you allow the defense to set up, so you're punishing the team for playing good defense. It's just one of those rule changes. It's common sense. They make a lot of nonsense rule changes in college basketball. That's a common sense one. Like, let the break go. On the near side, it's Banks. Here is Pickett. And the pull-up by Artist is good. And it's uh-oh time for Brunswick. Bryant and Stratton by 11 now. Williams back in the game, brings it into the front court. And that pass goes nowhere. So as well as Brunswick played in the first quarter, the second quarter has flipped. The script is not going right for Brunswick right now. And if you're Bryant and Stratton, the biggest thing this weekend, you play this game, you're thinking about that rematch, of course, against Cape Fear tomorrow. I got to stay focused and credit Bryant and Stratton. They have done that so far today out of the gate. So off the deflection, Artist will inbound it over in enemy territory. And looking down low for the cutter. Nice hands there by Williams. It's saved, though, by Jones. Here is Bodenheimer getting tied up, able to get it out, but it's trickled out of bounds. And that's some defense that we usually see from the Bobcats, that scrappy defense showcased now by Brunswick on that sequence. Got in the scoring drought, though. Dolphins need to get on the board here. Have not scored yet in the quarter. Attacking is Williams, and she'll go to the free throw line. That's smart basketball right there. The offense is stagnant, and sometimes as a point guard, you got to say, okay, we got to make something happen. We got to create something. I'm going to try to get to the free throw line here. And actually, my apologies, it's Glenn. Glenn averaging 10 a game on the young season. These are her first free throws, Amaya Glenn. 10 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and 4 steals a game. Good stat line in the first couple of contests, and she gets both free throws. So that ends the scoring run to start the quarter for Bryant and Stratton, which was 6-0, I'm pretty sure. Bodenheimer on the far side. And trouble with the basketball down low. It's trickled out. No! Glenn gets it, and the foul's going to be called on Sandifer, it looks like, who's maybe took the worst of it, but both players going for the basketball. Sandifer came over the top there. And it'll be Brunswick basketball. Second team foul on the Bobcats. So we're inside 6 minutes to go here until halftime. Starling, Glenn, Douglas, Williams, and Rivera for Brunswick. Out deep, it's Glenn. Williams now. Williams with the spin move, and she traveled with the basketball. I don't know, the things that we don't call traveling anymore, I gotta maybe run that one back when we get a timeout here. If she picked up the ball before she picked up the pivot foot, you understand what I'm trying to say? Jones with the extra pass. Down low, the bucket is no good. And here comes Brunswick trying to dig deeper out of the hole. Rivera cut off on the baseline. Her pass is tipped and taken away. Once again, it's Jones with some nice defense, trying to turn it into offense and then losing it out of bounds. All right, traveling or not? I didn't get the right We didn't get enough of the replay to judge that, but it did look like the right call to me. Into the forecourt, it's Williams. Starling thought about the catch and shoot. Back to Williams. And her pass deflected out to Douglas. Glenn attacks. Not tied up. Starling with 5 on the shot clock. How many times have the Dolphins been up against the shot clock here today? That is courtesy of a very good Bobcats defense. Harris is back in for Bryant and Stratton. 11 points in the first quarter. Catch and shoot, Glenn for 3. Can't get it to go. Bodenheimer the rebound. Chance now again for the Bobcats to get back to a double-digit lead. The hanging shot off the back iron. Nice box out there by Douglas. Williams. And she lost the handle, was poked from behind. Here comes Bodenheimer. Bodenheimer had it poked away. So nice job by Glenn to make sure that, force them to inbound it. Artist will inbound for the Bobcats. Perfect 3-0 start for Bryant and Stratton. Both of these teams playing in their second Region 10 contest. Bodenheimer down low, Reddix turns it over. Williams to the far side. Ooh. Jones was ready. Williams was trying to communicate with her teammates and took her eye off the ball, took her eye off Jones, and that was almost a steal. Instead, Dolphins will inbound it here. I'm not sure why the shot clock set to 20 there. I think that was a mistake, but Starling's going to try it from way downtown. No good. Rebound by Reddix. Ball trickled out. Extra pass to Bodenheimer. Catch and shoot triple try. No good. Rebound by Reddix. Collides with Dolphins players. Another extra chance opportunity. Harris over to Artist in the corner. This is Jones. Her bounce pass deflected. Staying with it is Reddix. I love seeing players on the floor like this. Reddix and the Dolphins as well. But, oh, that's the kind of effort.
Keep working, White.
So another crack at it here. A foul called on Brunswick, but, or no, it's no foul. I was going to say the shot clock again went to 20. So they catch it this time. It's 11 now for the Bobcats. Bodenheimer in the corner, off the back iron. Ball deflected back out. And yet another opportunity. Harris wanted to key it up. Instead, Bodenheimer had it deflected. Last touch by Williams. Get over there, coach. Williams is out. Mitchell back in. 5 points off the bench in her first game. Destiny Mitchell from East Columbus. For Brunswick, this is the start of a 7-game homestand, and it may be longer. I think we're trying to get an extra game added at the beginning of the new year, so it might be an 8-game homestand. So a lot of home cooking every game for the rest of this semester. Short on the 3 is Harris. Tried to save it and couldn't come up with the attempt there, so Brunswick will get it back. We're having our scoreboard occasionally is acting a little goofy, folks. If it bothers you, you can let me know in the YouTube chat, and I'll just kill the whole scoreboard and keep you updated manually, but I know it's kind of fading in and out. I don't know why it's doing that. We're going to get it. When I come down there for the Christmas tournament, we're going to get a whole new setup because I'm tired of what we got. Jones with another steal. Dolphins trying to take it right back. Glenn ran out of real estate, almost was able to save it, but then Starling, same deal. over on the sideline. So it will be Bobcat basketball. Was there a change in possession? I think that's probably the conversation right now. So they're going to have 25 on the shot clock. Artist will inbound it.
Watch corner!
Back door open momentarily, and Jones able to take advantage. Nice dime by Janijah Artist, who averages 4.3 assists per game. One of 3 players who averages over 4 assists per game. They're led by Rakyla Jones, who averages 6.3. So Jones benefits on that last bucket.
Put these in, Destiny.
Destiny Mitchell going to the free throw line. Third team foul on Bryant and Stratton, to the chagrin of Cornell Parker. Mitchell short on that first one. You can see coming off an injury, it's going to be legs right now, getting her legs under her for Destiny Mitchell, but she did have 5 points quickly in that first quarter. She goes 1 out of 2 at the free throw line, up to 6 now in the game. Lead is 10. Bryant and Stratton briefly matching its biggest lead at 11 here today. As we wind down this opening half, 2:13 left to go. Down low, the easy one. Dolphins napping on defense, and Reddick says thank you very much. Her second basket. Glenn into the front court for Brunswick. This is now the biggest lead for Bryant and Stratton in the game. Oh, now Bobcats are napping down low, and okay. An easy one for Douglas, who's up to 6. So Douglas with 6, Mitchell with 6 here in this first half, pacing Brunswick. Harris has 11, all of those coming in the first quarter. On the bench right now. Artist up top. They were looking for the cutter, and it's deflected again by Glenn. Glenn's been active defensively.
Let's go, White. Nothing. Hold it for 13.
Artist to Reddicks. The bank is closed. Artist is blocked but fouled. So Janijah Artist going to the free throw line, 50% free throw shooter on the season. 6.3 points a game, 47% shooter from the field, 3 rebounds, 4.3 assists per game. This is a Bryant and Stratton team that averages 24.3 assists per game. It's always those teams. If you see a team averaging, I would say in the women's game, 18 assists a game or higher, they're contenders, every single one of them. 1 out of 2 for Artist. Lead back to 11. Rivera had it and lost it. The throw ahead goes to Artist, banks it off the glass. So the press for the Bobcats working. It's magic. Scoreboard, I don't think, now it updated. So 13-point lead for Bryant and Stratton. The reverse no good by Douglas. Extra chance opportunity, a rare one for Brunswick. Douglas quick trigger no good. Reddicks with the box out. The throw ahead, extra pass. Oh, bucket and foul somehow there by the Bobcats. What a play. I mean, that was hard fought there by Sandifer, who's now got 6 points. Chance to make it 7 at the free throw line. Bryant and Stratton has held Brunswick to 5 points in the quarter. Sandifer now second leading scorer for the Bobcats with 7 points today. 42.6 left to go until halftime. This one's starting to slip away from Brunswick here. Glenn had her pass deflected by Reddicks. Reddicks to the cutter, and the bucket down low is good. Couldn't see the jersey number. That's how fast These are happening. I think it was Sandifer again. If it is, she's got 9. She had the deflection that time. I don't think that's Sandifer. Who is it over there? It's these long ponytails. It's the dark blue on dark black. Everybody's making me work for it today. Dolphins falling apart against the press right now, and I think we have a tie-up. It's going to be the possession arrow, the official pointed for Bryant and Stratton, but the scoreboard says Brunswick. So I think they're going to give it to Brunswick here. We're going to talk about it. It was Pickett on that last bucket, not Sandifer. So Sandifer still was 7. Pickett I've got her with 4. And these stats are, take them with a grain of salt. So we're deciding, was the possession arrow correct or not? And they are going to give it to the Bobcats. Okay, last shot time for Bryant and Stratton here. They have built their lead out to 18 now. Pickett being chased. Ball deflected by Mitchell. Once, then twice. Dolphins got to go with 2, with 1. They're not going to get it off. Stifling defense in the second quarter for 18th ranked Bryant and Stratton as they build a 41-23 lead as we go to the halftime break. We'll take the halftime break, about 13, 14 minutes of it, bring you the Dolphins' first half highlights and all the second half play-by-play here in just a little bit. Again, your score at halftime, Bryant and Stratton 41, Brunswick 23. We will return here shortly. Welcome back, everybody. Chris Shaman, glad to be back with you. We are ready to go here at the start of the second half. Bobcats have a 41-23 lead as it's Dolphins basketball, first of a back-to-back for Brunswick. They host the UNC Wilmington's club team tomorrow at 5 p.m. Bryant and Stratton heads up the road to take on Cape Fear, rematch of the Region 10 championship game from a season ago. For Bryant and Stratton, leading scorer at the half is Haley Harris. She has 11 points, had all of those in the first quarter. Sandifer with 7, Artis with 5, Pickett, Jones, Banks, and Reddix with 4 points each. For Brunswick, Destiny Mitchell in her first game with 6 points. Douglas has 6 as well. 4 for Glenn, 4 for Ribera, 3 for Starling. Dolphins limited just 5 points in that second quarter. It was a 5-point game at the end of one. We had 3 lead changes and 2 ties in the first quarter. And then the wheels came off for Brunswick. Bryant and Stratton, 18th ranked in the NJCAA at 3-0. Dolphins 1-1. Starling trying to get it inbounded. Third opportunity here at the start of the second half for Brunswick. Glenn will back it out. Here is Rivera. Williams back to Glenn on the wing. Shot clock at 7. Dolphins have had a lot of trouble against this defense. Been up against the shot clock. They got to get it off here, and it's not going to happen. So another shot clock violation. And this Bryant and Stratton defense. So the Bobcats, I mentioned, they're 3-0. They are outscoring their opponents by 40 a game. 88.7 points per ball game for the Bobcats, 48 points per game allowed. They gave up 49 on Sunday when they beat Catonsville, 93-49. Bodenheimer, a catch and shoots. Yes! The proud Papa gets out of his chair as Liv Bodenheimer gets her first 3, came in averaging 12.7 a game, shooting 60% from 3 and 61% from the field, Liv Bodenheimer. She comes up with a turnover here. Artist from Jones. Her pass tipped. She tips another one down low, and the layup goes for, I believe that was Sandifer. Nope, it was Jones. So Jones up to 6. Now a steal again by Artist. It's trickled out. Bodenheimer fakes the 3. Steps inside the arc and can't get it to go. Rebound fought for down low. Douglas. And did we get a foul called or a timeout or a jump ball? Or if it's a jump ball, it would be Bryant and Stratton. So I think we have a foul. These are the hustle plays that if you're Bryant and Stratton, you don't mind getting team fouls on those. Or did we get a timeout? We did get a timeout. Somebody make a call. All right, just underway here in this third quarter. We'll be back in just a moment. Shout out, as always, to Coastal Transplants, sponsors of Dolphins women's basketball for a number of years, and the reason why you're stuck with me year in and year out. Nice job by Brunswick breaking the press. Williams then turns it over. It's another steal for Jones, and then I think we have a travel. So Brunswick will get it back off the turnover. I'm pretty sure it was a travel there. And Starling will inbound it.
Shouldn't we have the whole 30?
Williams out deep. Catch and shoot three is no good. Rebound controlled by Jones. Scoops it ahead to Sandifer. Sandifer hesitates, attacks, and draws contact. So that's Sandifer, another double-digit scorer, one of four, averaging at least 12 a game or more. She's right at that 12-point per ball game mark, shooting 58% from the field, 55% from the free throw line. 4.7 assists, 2.3 steals per game for Sandifer, one of the 7 returners from last year's championship run. Bobcats reaching the NJCAA National Tournament, the D2 tournament last year, lost to Mid-Michigan in the first round, and then got that consolation victory over Jackson College. Sandifer misses them both. Dolphins yet to score here in the second half. And changing that quickly is Williams, who's on the board for the first time. Bodenheimer quickly in the front court. Sandifer cross court to Liv for three. Yes! Bodenheimer's got 2 triples in the quarter. Bryant and Stratton out to a 49-25 lead, 3 minutes in to the second half. Trouble with it is Douglas got to go all the way into the backcourt, and this is going to be a 10-second violation. Bryant and Stratton gave up 18 in that quarter, in that first quarter, and they've given up 7 since. Gosh, this defense is really impressive. So Artist inbound, Bodenheimer. Just great ball movement, and the scoop and score is good for having trouble again with that one. I believe it's Jones. Down low, Williams got 2 defenders in the air. So Jones now with 8. It's deflected out. And now she goes out of the game. Reddick's back off the bench with 4 points here tonight. No, I was wrong. Jones is still out there. All right, I don't know who got the last bucket. It might have been Pickett then. Yeah, Pickett. Change for Joe Gaughan as well as Kennedy comes in. Scoreless first half for her. Issue with the clock has us held up here with 6:35 to go in this third quarter. Game 1 of a 3-game road trip for the Bobcats. I mentioned tomorrow against Cape Fear. Dolphins tomorrow against UNC Wilmington's club team. Coaches are scrambling a little bit. Virginia Peninsula and Johnston Community College were both on the schedule. Johnston was supposed to be the opponent tomorrow. And now it's because Johnston decided not to field the team, it'll be UNC Wilmington instead. They're a club team, I should say. Very different circumstances. Still an issue with the clock, so we're going to step aside while they figure that out. All right, again, shout out to our friends at Coastal Transplants. Back to live action. Dolphins getting it in to Kennedy, who goes aggressive and scores. Kennedy on the board for the first time here today. On the season, averaging 7 a game. That pass is air-mailed by Sandifer. An oopsie-daisy there. Mitchell back in the game. So it's Mitchell, Kennedy, Douglas, Glenn, and Starling, the 5 for Brunswick. Starling over to Kennedy. She'll pull it back with 11 to shoot. Hand off to Glenn. Glenn, trouble with the pass, and that's going to be a backcourt violation.
Let's go, White. Run the play.
4 minutes and change into the second half, and another turnover for Brunswick. So Dolphins will play tomorrow, and then next Sunday it's going to be part of a triple header we'll have for you on YouTube. Pre-Thanksgiving Classic. Double dribble there by Reddix.
Good work, Shantae.
Brunswick women next Sunday take on Fayetteville Tech. That will be a 5 p.m. approximate start. We'll be behind, trust me. Those men's games are minimum 2 hours. Every men's game that we've done since they went to these media timeouts have been longer and longer almost every game. So we're going to have 2 men's games on next Sunday before the women's game. So, yeah, I'm thinking more like a 6 p.m. start than 5. The runner by Starling got it to go. Kaya Starling with her second basket. She's got 5. Harris is back in. Harris came off the bench in the first quarter. Nice little bank shot there by Reddix. Settling in nicely at Bryant and Stratton. Starling attacks. Starling stripped, and Douglas tried to recover but lost
Good,
it.
Kai. Keep working.
Bobcats have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players who have at least 4 points today. Artist has 5, trying to make it 8. Missed that one. Bodenheimer trying for the rebound, couldn't handle it. Back to Brunswick. With Bodenheimer goes to the bench. Dad, you can check in on the college football. She's out. Dolphins get the basketball back and set the change. I'm not sure who came in for Bodenheimer. Nearest us, Glenn. Kennedy was rolling. The deflection by Reddix, and then Artist not in sync on the 2-on-1 there with her teammate. So back-to-back turnovers gives the ball back to Brunswick. Trailing by 24. So these are the top 2 teams in the region I mentioned in steals per game on the young season. Dolphins 15.5. And the Bobcats averaging 16.7 steals per game. Brunswick's doing a better job from 3 today. We haven't seen a ton of deep attempts. They came in the first 2 games, just 7 of 31 from 3. Remember, 3-point shooting was an issue a season ago. Starling has 1 here today, and I don't know if there's any other triple tries or triple makes for Brunswick. In fact, I think Starling might have, no, she doesn't have 2. She's only got 5. Walters is back in. It's Reddix drawing contact. Reddix with 6 points today, going back to the free throw line. For Brunswick, 3 team fouls. Bryant and Stratton just 1 here in the quarter so far. Reddix 15 points. 14 points on the season, 15 rebounds a game. Also 2 steals per contest in 3 games so far in her collegiate career. It's the second free throw to rim in, 7 now for Reddix. Got a whistle on the other end now as Glenn had it poked away. Recovered. Drew contact.
Put these in, Maya.
So Amaya Glenn going to the free throw line. $10 points, 3 assists, 4 steals a game on the young season for Glenn, and hit her first 2 free throws in the first half. Gets that one to go. Still perfect. And make it 4 out of 4 from the charity stripe. 6 total points for Amaya Glenn. Near side Sandifer. They keep looking down low. Destiny Mitchell with some nice handwork there. They are definitely looking for Reddicks. And we have a travel this time. Glenn 3:20 to go in the third quarter. Putting the moves on and draws the body. Foul will be on Walters.
Let's go, Maya. Put him in.
So both teams with 3 team fouls now. And Glenn back at the line. Ooh, just stays perfect. It rimmed in for Glenn. 5 of her 7 from the charity stripe here this afternoon. Make it 6 of 8. Banks with the bounce pass over to Harris. Again, it's Reddicks. Over 3 defenders. My gosh. Shakira Reddicks with 9 points. And you see the strategy right now. It's just Reddicks, Reddicks, Reddicks for Bryant and Stratton. Rivera just inside the arc, couldn't get it. Ball tipped to Mitchell, who puts it up and in. So Destiny Mitchell playing in her first game. Mentioned she was injured at the start of the season, now with 8 points here today. Sandifer on the far side, and Glenn with some beautiful defense for Brunswick that time, forcing her into a backcourt violation. Dad shut the college football off, lives back in now. Banks, I believe, goes to the bench. Rivera down low. Kennedy shot block, got it back. And Glenn was out of bounds. Coach Joe says, He's pretty sure of that one. Only occasionally do I see Coach Joe get demonstrative like that, so I'm inclined to believe him. Bodenheimer is open against the 3-2 zone. Off the bench, no. Follows her miss. Attacks. Swings it out to Reddicks. Reddicks, my goodness. Over 3 players again. Reddicks off the glass. She's now in double figures with 11. Harris has 11. So 2 players for Bryant and Stratton with the game high. Kennedy on the baseline, ran out of real estate. Somehow got it to Destiny. Couldn't bank it. Sandifer the rebound. The throw ahead. And the roll.
See her.
I thought Sandifer might have been in double figures. No, she has 9. Open look, Douglas out deep, missed it short. Rivera crashing the glass, forcing the pass, and it's intercepted. The hezzy and the bucket over on the right side. 60-35, Bryant and Stratton by 25 as we wind down quarter number 3. Block but foul. That will send Douglas to the charity stripe. I thought Banks went out of the game, but she just got the last bucket, so she's up to 6 points.
Shante, play your game. Play your game, Shante.
Sandifer will go out. Pickett comes back in. Bodenheimer out quickly, and I believe Jones is back in. Shante Douglas, 10.5 points and 12 rebounds a game. And up until that free throw, can't blame it on me. She was perfect from the free throw line. But what a start to her season. Product of Eastern Wayne and Goldsboro. Gets 1 out of 2. So you got 2 players in Reddicks and Douglas averaging double-doubles on the young season. Both freshmen. Just a couple second difference between the game and shot clock. In fact, maybe not even 2 seconds. Tip pass out to Pickett. Pickett dribbles, attacks, is fouled by Starling, who thought she got the block. So Pickett with 6 points today.
Good block, Kaya.
She, up to this point, is perfect from the charity stripe on the young season. Both teams with 4 team fouls towards the end of the quarter. And, all right, that one you can blame on me. So Pickett will try to salvage this trip and miss them both. Last shot time if the Dolphins choose to do so, as Williams is back into the game, brings it across midcourt. Starling out deep. Mitchell. Glenn.
Know your time.
And that pass is thrown away. Jones did not have time to get anything off. 30 minutes in the books. We go to the final quarter. Bryant and Stratton, number 18 team in the country, is holding court right now. We'll be back. Welcome back, everybody. Final quarter about to get underway. Chris Sheeman back here with you, and glad to be with you for the start of a very long homestand for Brunswick as the ball goes in, and first bucket of this final quarter to the Bobcats. So Banks with another one. She's up to 8. Very balanced offense today for Bryant and Stratton, assuming the majority of my scoring is right. A little half-court trap right now for the Bobcats. We've seen a mix of defenses here and a late in the clock foul on Harris. That's one of those ones, if you're a coach, you don't like, as you've got them within 4 in the shot clock, and then the bailout there. Starling out deep with it. The catch and shoot three is good by Glenn. First player for Brunswick in double figures now. Glenn with 11, just above her season average so far. Here's Pickett the pull-up. Follows her miss. Extra pass goes to Harris for three. Rims it in. Harris has 4 3-pointers, 14 points in the game. That's her first bucket since the first quarter. Bryant and Stratton takes its biggest lead at 28, and Coach Joe calls for time. We'll take a break. Come back here in just a minute. Okay, quick timeout by Joe Gaughan at the start of this final quarter. Chris Sheeman back here with you. It's Dolphins basketball. Amaya Glenn in double figures with 11 points today. And the pass mishandled by Williams. Throw ahead by Pickett. And the Dolphins get it back. We've seen some positives here today in this game. We knew it was going to be tough for Brunswick. That is not a positive. Way too many turnovers for the Dolphins, but when you're tested against one of the top teams in the country, Glenn goes out with her 10 points, and Janice Smith is in for the first time. So Smith off the bench. They've been feeding Reddix. Reddix missed it, got it back, swings it out. Three is long, and extra chance opportunities here today as Reddix got tied up momentarily there, and the possession arrow favors Brunswick. Look out, trouble with it again. Williams. Mitchell almost able to deflect it away. It's a steal, and free throws are coming for Pickett. Looking ahead a little bit tomorrow, Bryant and Stratton. Again, that big game against Cape Fear should be a fun one. We had the Region 10 tournament here at Brunswick on Walter Shaw Court a season ago, as Pickett's up to 8 points. And I'll finish that thought. We got another timeout. Lead is out to 30 for Bryant and Stratton with 7:47 left to go. We'll pause again. right, quick timeout. Welcome back, everybody. Dolphins with the basketball. And yet another steal. This time it is Jones. I don't think my stats are right, but I've got Jones with 8, Pickett with 8, Sandifer with 9, Banks with 8, Harris with 9, Reddix with 11, Harris with 14. Those are the leading scorers for Bryant and Stratton. As you can see, it's been balanced. Both teams' scoring has been balanced. Hounding, trapping defense again for Bryant and Stratton, and again it's Jones with the steal. The layup is no good, and we got a reach on Reddix. Second team foul on Bryant and Stratton here in the final quarter. But anyways, I started talking about the positives. Dolphins did not come out rattled. In fact, it was a 5-point game at the end of one. The passes have not been there since that first quarter, though, as the bucket is good. I believe that's Banks. If it is, she's in double figures now with 10. But 18 points in the first quarter and then just 21 points since then. Smith throws it up short, rebound by Harris. Throw ahead to Pickett, the hezzy. And got taken to a tough angle. That's good defense there by Starling. Knocks it out of bounds.
Let's go, White, get organized.
And we got a 5-second call. It was borderline, but close. What? Don't those mean the same things? Oh, boy. All right, so Dolphins with the basketball. Williams with the handoff. Rivera back in the game, looking to get it back. Instead, Mitchell goes up top to Smith. Down low, Kennedy off the glass, just a little too strong. Rebound again to Reddix. Down low, nobody back defensively. Jones with the bucket. So she's in double figures. We have another timeout. 5:44 left to go. It's all Bryant and Stratton as we wind down this one. Actually, it's only a 30-second timeout, so I'll keep it here. Why not? Okay, let's run down the scoring again. Harris with 14, Reddix in double figures with 11. Jones now in double figures with 10. Sandifer with 9. Banks also in double figures. Forgot about her with 10. Pickett with 8. Bodenheimer with 6. Artist with 5. And Walters with 2. For Brunswick, Glenn's got 11. Mitchell with 8. 7 for Douglas. 5 for Starling. 4 for Rivera. Williams has 2. Kennedy has 2 as well. I think I got everybody there. Chris Sheeman, happy to be with you this weekend. First of a back-to-back. Dolphins fans, we're with you tomorrow evening. It will be a 5 p.m. start against UNC Wilmington's club team. And another steal. Oh, my goodness. The pressure has just been relentless. Banks going to the free throw line. Second team foul on Brunswick. Pickett goes out of the game. We'll tell you about the subs for Bryant and Stratton here in a moment. So Sandifer in double figures. Correction, Banks in double figures. Rivera. Cut off, swings it out to Smith from deep. Offensive rebound by Williams. And has it poked away. Boy, Reddix is all over this court today. Banks on the far side. Goes cross court. Here's Harris again. Not that time. Rebound by Destiny Mitchell. Williams across the timeline into the forecourt. Handoff for Rivera. Gets it away from the hounding defense of Banks. They're playing all 40 against these Dolphins as Rivera got around her, but the runner no good. So Banks again to the hoop, yes. And Banks with 13. Williams the handoff to Rivera. Rivera hit a couple early buckets. She's been quiet ever since. And yet another steal. That's Lewin who got the steal, and then the cleanup there by Pickett. Zion Lewin into the game for the first time. Catch and shoot three, Destiny Mitchell. Dolphins have kind of given up on this one. The effort has changed as that shot is missed. But a foul. That was not Pickett, by the way. Let's see. Who do we have? Wisdom Banks. No, that's not Banks. It's got to be Pierce then. I'm having a heck of a time with these jerseys. So Lewin at the free throw line. Came in averaging 6 points, 4 rebounds a game. And here in mop-up duty gets on the board. So both free throws are good. And another timeout. Can't take them with you. 3:27 left to go. We'll take a timeout as well. That's me, Chris Sheeman. Glad to be back with you as we wind down another Bryant and Stratton victory. They're going to be 4-0 when the final 3:17 ticks away. So many turnovers for Brunswick here today. Bryant and Stratton gives one back here. But the Bobcats, especially here in this second half, just it's almost like a quarterback reading his receivers too much, and the corners are just picking off the passes. There's another one. This time it's Pierce. And that is team foul number 4 on Brunswick. So next defensive foul will put Bryant and Stratton in the bonus. Down the stretch we go. Start of this 3-game road trip will be successful for the Bobcats. They'll head up the road to Wilmington tomorrow. Dolphins fans will be with you tomorrow evening again at 5 p.m. against the club team from UNC Wilmington. Kennedy attacks. Rebound again by Reddix. I'm just going to guess she's got a double-double yet again. Looks like Reddix might go out of the game for the final time here for Cornell Parker's team, as Liv Bodenheimer back in the game for her. So Reddix, another successful, likely double-double. Oh, nice little play there by Rivera. Couldn't get the bucket, though. Then it's taken away by Kennedy, who buries it. Second bucket for Princess Kennedy. Well, it's safe to say, as Harris triggers the three, apologies, the way that the gym is designed, when it gets around midday, that sun comes shining through, and that glare can really be something over on that left side. Starling back in the game. Hands off to Smith, who's getting a little extended run here in mop-up time. Rivera, deep jumper. And down low, we have a whistle as Mitchell had position on the rebound. It'll be the fourth on Bryant and Stratton with 1:32 left to play. So Dolphins will fall to 1-2. Opportunity to even their record. Game 2 of this 7, possibly 8-game homestand. Again, tomorrow evening.
How she got 5 and she's still in the game?
Inbound goes to Mitchell. Here is Rivera. Stepping left, Starling for 3. Rebound controlled by Walters. We have all kinds of glare there. Whoever designed this gym thought they were designing a gym in Portland, Oregon, where the clouds rain down, but we're at the beach, y'all. Starling got the runner to go. Inside a minute to go. And that rainbow triple try, no good. Nice box out there by Smith on the rebound. It's like a supernova on the left side of the court. Starling out deep with 7 points. She'll pull up for another triple try. Can't get it that time. Rebound controlled by Bryant and Stratton. And Pierce going to be called for the offensive foul. Yeah, with the shot clock off, probably should pull that back in a 40-point game. So Dolphins, yeah, tell me about it, Danielle. It is a supernova. So Dolphins likely their last possession here, and it's deflected off the Bobcats. So Bobcats will wrap this one up 4-0, 2-0 in the region. Again, tomorrow against Cape Fear, what should be a fun game. Dolphins opportunity to get a W against UNC Wilmington's club team. Mitchell off on the 3. Another rebound by Smith. And that'll do it. 83-43. 18th ranked Bryant and Stratton handles its business against the Dolphins here today. Brunswick falls to 1-2. Bobcats 4-0. And we'll be back with you tomorrow. Come on back. Brunswick and UNC Wilmington's club team. Again, we'll have it for you at 5 p.m. Until then, my name's Chris Sheeman. You have yourselves a great rest of your Saturday, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow. Take care.